Like, do you see the difference? Which one of these would you prefer? A standard canned green bean or a green bean that maintained its color? Let's take a look. Hello and welcome to Kim's Cozy Corner. We are back in the kitchen again and we're gonna make green beans. We're gonna can green beans, but we're gonna do them a little different today. Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Kim and I canned some green beans about a week ago, a little over a week ago. And I did my traditional canning of green beans. I collect them all, I put them in the freezer till I have enough and then I can them. Well, today I have some fresh green beans that we just washed and cut up and we're going to can them, but we're going to can them and we are going to put zinc in each of the jars. So y'all, I'm not too old to learn. If people have tips out there, please continue to share your tips with me. But I had several people tell me that you can put zinc in your green beans and the green beans will retain their color. So I have the ones from a week ago. We're going to can these up today and we're going to put the zinc in there. This is a 50 milligram tablet of zinc. And we're going to see if that zinc keeps the color of the green beans. Now, zinc promotes healthy skin and immune support. So zinc is good for you anyway. It's something that our body needs. And so it should be okay to add this to the beans. We're going to pressure can them with our Presto digital canner that I have right here. And I already have the jars warming up and it's telling me I can go ahead and fill the jars. So we're going to fill these jars and add just a little bit of zinc. Come on, let's can some more beans, y'all. Well, it says that my jars are warm. So we are going to go ahead and fill those jars. This is a raw pack. I'm using my recipe from the Ball Book of Canning. Here's a picture of the book that I use. There'll be a link to it below. There'll be a link to all of my canning items below. So anything that I'm using, you'll be able to get. And if I missed it, just ask me a message in the comments or send me an email and I'll make sure that I give you the link to where I purchased those items. So for a raw pack, the first thing that I needed to do is heat my jars. I'm doing 1.5 jars, 1.5. A pint jar is not enough for a meal. A quart jar is too much for a meal for my family and we end up wasting it. So I use 1.5 as the standard size for my beans. Just beans. Everything else, most likely I'm going to use a quart jar unless we're talking pickles or just leftover that I don't want to lose. And then of course, all of my preserves and apple butters and jellies and that kind of stuff, I put those in smaller containers. So, all right, let's get it going. I usually put my salt and sugar and everything in the bottom, but I'm going to put it in the top this time. So I'm going to sprinkle it on top of the beans. No, I'm not. I'm going to do it the way I always do it, y'all. So I'm going to put, if I had a quart jar, it would be a teaspoon of salt. I have a 1.5, so I'm going to do a 1/2 teaspoon of salt. And you don't have to put salt in it at all, which I'm always telling everybody, you don't have to use salt. I'm also going to put a 1/2 teaspoon of sugar in each one of my jars. And you don't have to do that either. But this way, my girls will eat it. So anything to get your kids to eat vegetables. So my beans are already washed and ready to go. Y'all, I was in the grocery store and in the grocery store, they had fresh green beans and they actually did look pretty good. I mean, they looked really, really good. And those green beans were $2 a pound. $2 a pound. Yesterday alone, I picked 5 pounds of green beans by itself. That was just yesterday. And I'm picking green beans every 2 or 3 days. So you tell me if I'm saving money or not. I don't know. Yes, you got to count in fertilizer and water. I don't count my time though. I will not count my time because it's saving me a doctor bill. But I just thought that was interesting. I don't have a clue how many I need, how many jars, but I got 4 more over there if I need them. I used to always do a hot pack with my beans, but I found that doing the raw pack, the beans kind of maintain that, you know, the snappiness, if that means anything. They don't get too soggy when I use the raw pack because they only heat up once, and that's 25 minutes at above 200 degrees. What is that, 10 pounds or 11 pounds of pressure? That's hot for 25 minutes. So if you want your beans to hold up a little better, I just think raw pack's better. I just started raw packing this year. I have never done that before because I always wanted to fit as many items in the jars as possible. But y'all, I got plenty of jars now. I believe everybody thinks I want canning jars for Christmas and my birthday and special occasions. The only thing they buy me now are canning jars. They don't have to buy me jars, just bring my jars back, right? All right, so we got 3 ready to go. Let's keep going with these beans. Let's keep filling it up. This Presto digital canner is one of my best investments that I can recall ever making. Ooh, they are right on time, y'all. I'm telling you. Uh-oh. I think I'm gonna need a small jar. I had a small jar ready. Look at that. That was about 1/4 of a teaspoon in that pint-sized jar, even though I could have put a half teaspoon. All right. So I'm gonna have to back some of these off. They're trying to just level out some of the jars. All right, there they are. There are my jars. They are ready to go. I need to add my zinc. And y'all, after I had a couple people tell me about using zinc, I'm like, is that really a thing? So I Googled it. And so many people are doing this. Several of the people that I watch, different homesteading channels that I do watch, they're doing this. And so I'm like, okay, I'll give it a try. Now, it's supposed to only be for the color. It's not adding any taste or anything like that. I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't mind the color, the dark color of the beans. It does no problem for me. I don't mind. For some people who want a more natural colored bean, you know, fresh from the garden color bean, that's one way to get it. So I put 1 zinc tablet in the jars. And now the only thing I need to add is some water. So I'm adding boiling water that I had going in the coffee maker. I may have to boil some more. I may not have made enough. Oh, I know I didn't. You're short. All right, those 2 still need water. Let's get the air bubbles out. You always need to leave an inch of head space for your beans. And y'all, I know we just did this. We just did this, but we did beans from the freezer. And now we're doing fresh beans straight from the garden right into a jar to be canned. I'm going to get these other ones out that I'm not going to use. We'll set them out of the way. If you want the full instructions on how to use the canner, please look at the other video and it goes through everything about setting it up and all that kind of stuff. Today, we're concentrating on the quality and the color of our green beans. Let me grab the rest of that water. All right, top these off. Now, I don't know if 50 milligrams was the right amount or not. Everybody I saw were making quart jars. I did see some people making some pint jars, so 50 milligrams, we'll see. We'll make sure we label them appropriately, so when we taste them, if we can taste the difference, we'll be able to call it out. I got my headspace. I'm wiping the tops of all of my jars. Put our lids on. The lids are clean. They're not sanitized, but they're clean. All right, we're putting them in. They're gonna cook for 25 minutes. 20 minutes for pints, 25 minutes for quarts. I don't need the regulator. Jars are full. And so now it's going to heat them up and they're going to start that pressure canning process. And it'll eventually tell me to come back and put the regulator on. And that's when I'll come back. But I will bring you back when the whole process is done. And we will compare the jars of the green beans that were raw packed with zinc to the other green beans that I've cooked so far this year. I'll bring you back in just a few minutes. Well, they're done. I haven't opened the canner yet, but we're going to check and see if these beans look any different from the beans that I did 2 days ago or a week ago. All right, let's open the canner. And let's just see what we got. I got a half empty jar is what I got. That jar is about empty. But the beans are really, really light colored. We will compare it. Oh, I just heard that one sealed. It said, that means it was sealed. I had a lot of extra space in these jars, so the jars weren't packed super full, but they're full enough. And we will compare them in just a moment. I don't want to jostle them around too much because they still need to seal properly. All right, so on 7/24, I got these beans from the freezer, and then I I pressure canned them from the freezer, and this is how they look. On 7/25, this jar right here were beans straight from the garden. I didn't put them in the freezer first or anything. So this is from the freezer, raw packed, straight from the garden, raw packed. And you see the color of both of these is about the same. Now, I can't pick that up with my hands because it's still hot, but can you see the difference? They are still green. They are. They maintained their color. Now, these beans will settle to the bottom once they cool off and everything, but you see, there is a difference. Wow, that is so cool. So using a zinc tablet, see, there's another bottle. So you can see there's a difference. Using the zinc tablet made a difference. It changed the color of the beans. Now, I don't care what color the beans are, as long as they taste good, I'm in heaven. But those beans maintained their color, which is pretty interesting. But the question will be, how do they taste? And I'm not ready to taste them right now. They gotta cool, they gotta seal and all that kind of stuff. But I'm gonna make sure that I put a special note on top of these that we added a 50 milligram zinc tablet to these jars so that we can compare the taste of those jars versus how I usually do it. Y'all, these beans smell good. They smell really good. Like I could eat them right now, but you know, we're gonna let them seal and do their thing. So we are done with our little experiment we canned for 5 jars of green beans using a zinc tablet in each one of the jars to see if it maintains its color. And yes, it did. It did maintain its color. So we will see how these taste in a few weeks and see if this is something we want to start doing, or whether my family cares one way or the other, whether they're this original bean color or the cooked color. For me, I don't care one way or the other, but let's see what the family thinks about it. If you enjoyed this video, consider subscribing to Kim's Cozy Corner. I'm always doing something with growing your own food, cooking from scratch, and preserving the harvest. That's what this channel is all about. Tell your family, tell your friends, turn on notifications, and come back and join me for more videos in the future. Until next time, and I hope there will be a next time that you decide to hang out at Kim's Cozy Corner with me. Bye.